Hello and welcome to Team PokeMart, your one-stop shop for things that you need to stop and or shop for. And today we are going to be primarily concerned with big things, valued customers, because as part of our supersized September deals, we've gotten into the spirit of large things by increasing the prices of our regular products tenfold. So that Pokeball that used to cost 200 Pokedollars, well, that's now been marked up to 2,000 Pokedollars for your supersized purchasing pleasure. However, we are running a simultaneous discount because if you do hit that subscribe button for Team PokeMart, you will receive a 90% discount store-wide for the duration of Supersize September. And don't try to do the maths on that, valued customer, because you will probably just hurt yourself. Because 90 is a big number, bigger than your brain can handle. But to celebrate, we are also going to be making a special episode of Team PokeMart showcasing the top 10 largest Pokemon in existence. Because whilst most creatures in this world are cuddly, or at least manageable, there are also a whole host of others that could crush you on a whim with very minimal effort. So we are here to honor that prospect. Before we get into things though, there will be one rule on this list, which will be no Gigantamaxing and no Dynamaxing, primarily because all Pokemon can theoretically Dynamax, thus making it a moot point to consider. And as for Gigantamaxing, well, I just don't care. So let's cast that whole idea aside and examine the top 10 naturally largest Pokemon, starting with number 10, Ultra Necrozma. Quite possibly one of the most Digimon sounding Pokemon names, but he gets away with it because Ultra Necrozma is a legendary, so the rules do not apply to him. But Ultra Necrozma steps onto this list with an impressive measurement attached, being 24 feet 7 inches tall, which is about 7.5 meters in the system that most of the world uses. I do have to emphasize though, I am specifically referring to Ultra Necrozma, not Duskmane Necrozma, not Dawnwings Necrozma, and certainly not Polite Midday Luncheon Necrozma. Just Ultra Necrozma, which is the big, shiny, dismembered limb dragon looking thing. And while it does look quite tall and intimidating in the games, I'm honestly quite shocked at how short it actually is. 7.5 meters is nothing. In fact, the Golden Guitar in Tamworth, New South Wales is taller than that. And look, if you've never been to Tamworth, then good. Very good for you actually, because it is a supremely unimpressive place, and Ultra Necrozma does not even surpass its most hailed artifact. 4 total forms of Necrozma, and this is the best you can do. I, for one, am not impressed. So I think we can certainly find much more bigger and much more better Pokemon. Number 9, Wishywashy. Wait, what? Seriously? A Wishywashy? Oh, Wishywashy school form. Alright, that makes a bit more sense, but at the same time, it doesn't. Basically, the Pokemon in question hits the number 9 position, being a total of 26 feet 11 inches or 8.2 meters high, but it's also kind of cheating because the Pokemon we're talking about is not in fact a singular entity. Wishywashy is pretty interesting for a generic fish labeled as a Pokemon, mainly because due to its inherent mediocrity, Wishywashy have developed a defense mechanism against natural predators, whereby a Wishywashy will group up with 247 of its closest fishy friends and assume the form of a bigger fish, because there's always a bigger fish, or at least the illusion of a bigger fish in this case, and this is known as Wishywashy school form. It's the same sort of theory as 3 children in a trench coat sitting on each other's shoulders and pretending to be an adult, but it works for Wishywashy, so much so that it would appear to become one of the largest creatures in all of Pokemon, and the school form is known as the Demon of the Sea by the people of Alola. Although I do still question whether or not it should be here, because while it is a marvel of fictional nature, could we not just do the same thing with any other Pokemon? Like, for argument's sake, what if we took a whole bunch of Diglett, threw them together and... oh. Alright, well, new example. How about we take a whole bunch of Magnemite and... okay. You know what? Sure. Apparently, if you stick enough Pokemon together, they do, in fact, make a new Pokemon. So I will begrudgingly accept Wishywashy school form. Number 8, Onyx. Here we have a Gen 1 rock snake measuring upwardly at 28 feet 10 inches or 8.8 meters, which, you know, not bad, good size. And I think that Onyx was certainly one of the more expected Pokemon to land here today. And he is in fact the tallest rock type Pokemon in existence, so you know, good for him. But Onyx has always kind of weirded me out personally because he's so top heavy. His entire existence consists of a series of large boulders balanced precariously upon increasingly smaller boulders. I don't really know how Onyx holds itself up, and you know what, in theory, even a slight breeze should be able to knock over Onyx with great ease, which would take its impressive height from 8.8 meters to close to 0 meters, but physics be damned, Onyx just works, and he is able to remain upright long enough to claim his 8th place position here today. Number 7, Steelix and Celestila. Alright, so here we have a double steel, double bill, as you can tell from their rather sneaky names. Steelix obviously being the immediate evolution of our number 8 contender Onyx, and Celestila not obviously obviously being anything, because what exactly are you? It's probably one of the closest things that Pokemon has to a Zelda-like boss. Really cool design, don't get me wrong. It just does not belong in the Pokemon world, which does make sense actually, because canonically it's not from the Pokemon world, and it is in fact an extra-dimensional Ultra Beast. And if you don't know what Ultra Beasts are, then do you know anything at all? I mean, I knew customers were a bit empty of brain matter, but this is quite frankly ridiculous. In any case, for reasons, Celestila does indeed exist, as does Steelix, and we're talking about them because they are tall. 30 feet, 2 inches or 9.2 meters tall to be precise. Not the biggest, not the smallest, but also not the not biggest either. Number 6, Primal Kyogre. Alright, our first singular water-type Pokemon on this list, not 248 fish taped together, but this would be a classic Generation 3 legendary whale bruh. And to be clear here once again, we are talking about Primal Kyogre rather than regular day-to-day office worker Kyogre, the former of which is 32 feet 2 inches tall or 9.8 meters. And you know, the entire concept of Primal is quite interesting because instead of evolving forward the way we like to do with Pokemon, what happens here is a restoration to a former ancient state, unlocking the true grandeur of these legendaries, making their future forms look like domesticated house cats in comparison. Now, as you can imagine, Primal Kyogre's height can be a bit of a scandalous topic, given how it seems to enjoy living on a horizontal axis. So what we need to do to make him tall is turn Kyogre vertical, like so. You see, that's better. What a tall boy we have. Or not, because Kyogre is genderless, so what a tall whale thing. Still, we're only halfway through here. Number 5, Mega Steelix. Yes, we've gone through Onyx Steelix, and now we land at Mega Steelix, which is just like Steelix, but a bit more. About 1.3 meters more, which isn't all that impressive for a Pokemon that's name begins with the word Mega, because just to put that into perspective, you know what is 1.3 meters tall? Bunny rabbits, or giant bunnies to be precise. So upon evolving into Mega Steelix, we have a modest height increase, about 1 giant bunny's worth. But I suppose the main selling point of Mega Steelix is how wonderfully pretty it is with all of its delightful crystals and such. Unfortunately though, due to its typing of steel and ground, Mega Steelix just so happens to be weak to some very, very basic elements of the Pokemon world. This Pokemon will fall rapidly to fire, water, and even fighting. The worst part though is that it is even weak against ground. That's right, Mega Steelix is weak to its own type. So in my mind, Mega Steelix will always be more of an ornamental existence rather than serving any technical function. It is admittedly very pretty though. Number 4, Mega Rayquaza. More snakes now, although this time we're once again dipping into the legendary realm, which grants Mega Rayquaza an extra 30 centimeters of height compared to that of Mega Steelix. So yes, the key difference between these two can quite literally be summed up as one of those wooden rulers we all used in primary school. Although to be fair, I don't know if our overwhelming American valued customers use these, or if in fact they even have school over there. So let me know in the comments, if indeed you are capable of writing. It's a big giant snake though. What more do you want me to say? Mega Rayquaza is just one of those crazily over-designed beings where all of its features just sort of blend together and stun me into silence with a big mishmash of what looks like a living, breathing cup of ramen. And you know what? Now I'm hungry, so we need to get through the rest of these pretty quickly. Number 3, Alolan Executor. It's eggs on a stick. Number 2. Alright, I should probably flesh this out a bit more just in case upper management are watching. And I mean, I myself am quite impressed to find Alolan Executor this high up despite its relentless upward growth, which totals 35 feet 9 inches or 10.9 meters worth of height units. In my mind though, I've just always thought that bigger, fatter legendaries like say Mega Rayquaza and Primal Kyogre would be superior to eggs on a stick, but I was wrong. Another in an ever increasingly long line of mistakes that keeps me trapped in the cesspool of retail. And not even like the fancy kind of retail either, we're talking Team PokeMart retail. I mean, you have no idea the kind of atrocities I would commit to get myself a comfy job in the Celadon department store. Ah yes, that would be the dream. Oh, and also, Alolan Executor might be a complete lie, because apparently in an interview with Nintendo of Europe, Shigeru Omori, who is important for reasons, stated that a stretched out Rayquaza may in fact be taller than an Alolan Executor, thus compromising the integrity of this entire list. Number 2, Wailord. More water type whale things here, except this time we have the ultimate whale, conducting a measurement of 47 feet 7 inches, or a much less impressive sounding 14.5 meters tall, which even when compared to real world whales is less than impressive. I mean, a blue whale is at least 25 meters, humpbacks are 16, and a sperm whale Sperm gets me every time. But those guys are also 16 meters. So this whale has no right whatsoever to call itself a lord. And while it's certainly greater than some kind of whale peasant, I suppose, I'd say it slots in as more of a whale vassal to an actual whale lord. I mean, whalelord. What a joke. And so we will now move to number 1, the biggest of all of the Greech things, and it is Eternatus, who dwarfs everything in the Pokemon world, being 65 feet 7 inches, or 20 meters high. Still not all that tall in the grand scheme of life, universe, and everything. And you know, when I started writing this video, I was definitely anticipating some more, shall we say, impressive numbers, but here we are. So Eternatus is a very new addition to this franchise, having been introduced in Sword and Shield. As such, Eternatus is in fact the being responsible for the whole Gigantamax and Dynamaxing phenomena present in the Galar region, and it itself can become even bigger with its Eternamax form. Eternamax, Eternatus, and now this is what I'm talking about, because this thing is 328 feet, 1 inch high, which is smack bang exactly 100 meters tall. And you know, this is the sort of epic bigliness I was anticipating for most of this list, but I guess we got there in the end. Still, even in its base form, Eternatus would be the largest Pokemon by an order of magnitude, so good on it, but more importantly, good on you, valued customer, for making it to the end of another video. And please do make sure to stop by Team PokeMart just to say hi, which you can do in the comments below. And if you're interested in some of our other merchandise, then please do click these tantalizing links over here, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel for regular updates on our new stock. But for now, this has been Team PokeMart, and I'll see you next time.